I found myself floating above the wreckage of my car, weightless and free, surrounded by colors and light, so vibrant that they felt alive. That's when I saw them. Beings of light waiting for me, their presence a comfort I cannot describe. Have I got you intrigued? Nice one. Stay tuned because I have two great NDE narrations coming right up. Welcome to Conscious Chronicles. My name is Anthony, and here we dive deep into the mysteries of consciousness, near-death experiences, out-of-body journeys, and life-changing spiritual awakenings. If these stories inspire you, please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to stay updated on new content. Or why not consider joining my growing community by clicking the join button below to explore exclusive perks. So grab your favorite drink, find a comfortable spot, and let's embark on today's incredible narrations. The first is Elena's story as told in her own words. I never imagined that March 8th, 2020 would be the day my life changed forever. That Sunday morning started like any other, filled with errands and visits. But by afternoon, everything took a turn I'll never forget. As I approached my eldest daughter Sophia's house, I slowed my car, signaling to turn left. A white car, driven by a man later identified as Ethan, appeared behind me, traveling far too fast. I noticed how close he was to my bumper. But before I could fully process what was happening, his car slammed into mine. The impact was violent. My car spun out of control, crossing the divider into oncoming traffic. Then came the second collision, a head-on crash with another vehicle. The force was unimaginable. That's the last thing I remember before losing consciousness. My daughter Sophia, who had been watching from her front porch, rushed to my car. Later, she told me what she saw. My eyes had turned a milky blue-white haze, and I wasn't breathing. I was slumped over the steering wheel, making a gurgling sound that terrified her. But my experience was entirely different. As the second impact happened, I felt myself leave my body. I saw the chaotic scene from above. The crumpled cars, the rising smoke, and my own body slumped lifelessly in the driver's seat. At first, I didn't recognize the figure in the car as myself. It was as if I were a detached observer. Then I noticed the vibrant magenta t-shirt I had chosen that morning, my favorite for its comfort. That's when it hit me. The person in the car was me. Realizing this didn't frighten me. Instead, I felt an overwhelming sense of peace. I floated higher and higher, weightless and free, with no pain or fear. The sensation was indescribable. A perfect unity with everything around me. Then, I saw them. There were 5 or 6 radiant beings of light, standing together amidst hues of orange and yellow, so vibrant they seemed alive. Their presence was warm and inviting, as if they had been waiting for me. I knew instinctively that these were my guardian angels or spirit guides, and their energy exuded a sense of celebration. I wanted to move closer, to fully embrace the joy and oneness of their presence. But just as I began to embrace them, a thought of Sophia and my family struck me. In an instant, I was pulled back into my body with a force so strong it felt like being sucked through a vortex. Pain returned immediately, sharp and excruciating. I gasped for air as consciousness came flooding back. Recovery was long and arduous, but my perspective on life was forever changed. I no longer fear death. What I experienced showed me that death isn't an end, but a transition to something greater. The accident also gave me courage I didn't have before to speak up, to live purposefully and express my love for those around me. As a doula, I now cherish every moment I spend serving families, knowing that life's fragility makes it all the more beautiful. This second narration is Rachel's story, shared in her own words. My journey into the unknown began during a 12-hour surgery to remove a benign tumor. At some point during the procedure, I felt myself separate from my body entirely. I was floating above the operating table, watching the medical team, including being able to watch my surgeon work with intense focus. The body on the table seemed unfamiliar at first, but as I observed, I realized it was mine. Strangely, I felt no attachment to it. My form was different, weightless, and mist-like, free from any physical constraints. Then I was drawn through a dark tunnel toward a radiant yellow-white light. The light wasn't just beautiful, it felt alive. Its warmth and peace were unlike anything I had ever experienced. In the light, time and space ceased to exist. I felt connected to infinite knowledge, and every question I had was answered instantly, as though the answers were already a part of me. 3 beings of light appeared before me. Though they had no distinct physical forms, I could sense their individuality. The middle being, Eli, radiated a powerful presence, while the 2 beside him, Leora and Samir, seemed to hum with unique vibrations, almost like musical tones. They communicated telepathically, explaining that my mission on Earth wasn't yet complete. I didn't want to leave the light. It was pure peace, a state of being I never wanted to end, but they insisted. Before I could protest further, I was pulled back into my body. Re-entering through the crown of my head, the sensation was jarring, like being thrust into a suit that no longer fit. The next thing I remember was Mr. Doctor calling my name as I opened my eyes to see my loved ones standing around me. The light has stayed with me ever since, not as a memory, but as a presence that informs how I live my life. It taught me that even in moments of pain and hardship, life is a precious gift. I no longer fear death. Instead, I embrace the journey ahead, knowing it leads back to that indescribable peace. What would you do if faced with such profound experiences? Would you view life differently? These stories from Eleanor and Rachel remind us that life is both fragile and extraordinary, a precious opportunity to grow, love, and connect. If these accounts moved you, please can you like my video and maybe leave your thoughts in the comments, and maybe share it with someone who might find comfort in these stories. Don't forget, you can also join my Conscious Chronicles community for exclusive bonuses. This is Anthony, signing off. Until next time. Stay conscious, and if your consciousness slips away, embrace the journey beyond.